Hello everyone, welcome to Educational Leadership Week 5. Here we are, halfway through. You guys are doing great. I hope you had a wonderful work week and I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Quick side note, this scuff on my face, no, it's not that I didn't wipe my face this morning after breakfast, and no, I was not in a brawl. I'm sure you can imagine who gave me this scuff. Yes, it would be Puppy Opal. We were roughhousing on the bed and she got me with one of those sharp puppy claws, so it doesn't hurt. Just looks like I'm a brawler. Second side note, Tanya, I've emailed you several times this last week. It keeps coming back message error with your email. I don't know if it's just the Blackboard glitch continuing. I sent you an email through Gmail to your Concordia email. So if you could check that and let me know if you're receiving my responses, just email me back. That would be great. I'd hate to leave you hanging in any way. Okay, so this week for weekly lesson number 5, it's titled Leadership is a Balancing Act, and the topic is meaning, purpose, motivation, and spirituality. Writing assignments due. You continue to complete your reading reflection journal throughout week 6. Begin formulating ideas for your leadership philosophy paper, which is due week 6 Sunday. And make sure to refer to your syllabus and weekly lesson week 6 for guidelines. You're also going to begin organizing and developing your group project, an article or movie review / presentation that will be due week 8 on a Friday, different day than usual. When you go into the tabs on your Blackboard classroom, if you just click under groups, you already have your assigned group. You must gain approval from me for the article or movie you wish to use for this project. So decide on one member of the group to post your choice in APA format to week 5's discussion board link set up for this project. Remember that the article must be 10 plus pages and from a book, journal, or other credible source. Please stay away from websites, magazines, newspapers, as I want students to get used to browsing Concordia's library for journal articles or books, which will assist you with conducting research throughout your program. If you choose to watch a movie, please consider a movie from the following list of options under leadership movies. Your reading this week, you have Developing Spiritual Potentialities, Principles, and Practices of Leadership, a self-study and teacher education. And you also have a media clip, Nigel Marsh, How to Make Work-Life Balance Work. Usually I talk about the readings in these lessons, but today I'm going to talk about the media related to Nigel Marsh on how to make work-life balance work. Hang on one second, I hear the mower man going by. Okay, he seems to have wandered off again. Here we go. So Nigel Marsh's clip, I love TED Talks, by the way, and if you're not subscribed to TED Talks, it might be something that you want to do. A lot of them are great to use with students too. They're usually short, brief clips that just make you kind of go, ah, and often inspire you in the morning to have a great work day. And Nigel Marsh's talk really hit home with me and reminded me about my own experiences with work-life balance. He just talks about how, he was working 10-hour days and that he was trying to find balance in his life, and he felt that he was just being hammered down by the corporation, whether it's a good corporation or a bad corporation, that they were going to work him, to the bone. He found that working out wasn't making him, more balanced. It was just making him more fit. And then he had this moment, this really tender moment with his son that kind of changed his idea about what a balanced life is. When I first began teaching, 27 years ago now, but when I first began teaching, I had that moment, and if you're a new teacher in this class or an experienced teacher, I'm sure you remember this, but I was so excited to have a teaching job that I was putting everything into my classroom and everything into my students. And that's wonderful, but I was wearing myself ragged. I stopped working out. There was a fast food place right across the street from the school. That was the first time I ever gained weight in my life. Because we didn't have time to go eat lunch. We would all run over there and just grab like fried zucchini sticks, ranch dressing, or run back to school, or some other type of really fatty food. I stopped exercising. I started staying late at school. Next thing I knew, I was at school till 9 o'clock at night, and my own children were being cared for by my husband and by my mother, thank God, that was with me and was able to help with them. But I just completely lost myself, and I was working in an inner city school, and I was with a lot of kids that I felt really needed me because they didn't have anybody else. But the problem is that my own children needed me, and I needed myself well, and I couldn't stay that way because I kept getting obsessed with work and what was going on at work. What happened is that my husband, who had been a sober alcoholic for many years, of course, relapsed under the stress of me not being around to help. And it was a wake-up call that I had to come back to my family and make sure that my husband and I were, walking a spiritual path together, and that we were spending family time together, and that we were concentrating on our health. And our family actually recovered that time from that incident. Then it was pretty good for many years about staying on task. Instead of joining every group at school and being a leader in every group, I chose the ones that really mattered to me. Instead of going to every district meeting, I chose the ones that mattered. And I kind of got over that thing that a lot of new teachers have, that I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be respected by my group, but I was suffering from people pleasing. So like I said, years went by and I did quite well with all of this. And then just about, several years back now, I lost my nephew. And it was out of the blue. It was unexpected. And something switched in me that changed things for me. And I realized that I had been overcommitted again at my school. And that losing my nephew, and anybody in this class that's lost somebody, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It changed the way I looked at things. And it changed the way, it changed my values. I started looking at, does this really matter? And how much does this matter? And how much energy do I want to give to something if I don't really back it? And I started realizing that it was time to reassess my balance again and make sure that I had time for family, time for spirituality, time for walking to keep my stress level down and to make me a better teacher. I also had a dear friend who was a counselor who passed away from cancer. She was 1 year away from retirement. Her husband and her were getting ready to sail around the world on their sailboat. And she unfortunately was diagnosed with liver cancer and died fairly quickly. And one of the last things that she said to me at the hospital was, because she had always been the type of person that would work all hours of the night and day helping the kids, and very similar to what I was doing with the kids. She said, if you die tomorrow, you will be replaced. And I was like, whoa. And she's like, no matter how much you're loved, no matter how great of a teacher you are, no matter how much you've given to the community, if you die, somebody will be in your classroom tomorrow taking over that responsibility. And it was just a reminder to me that it's great to give to school and it's great to give to our classroom, but we have to make sure that we're not neglecting our families, our loved ones, our friends in the process, and specifically that we're also not neglecting ourselves. It's very cliche, but people say all the time, when a plane's going down or when there's a problem on a plane, you put on your own oxygen mask first before you put on somebody else's. And so this week's topic really is about, what is your oxygen mask? How are you going to balance all of these commitments? You're balancing things right now by doing this class and teaching school and being with family. But are you really balancing it? Are you handling it? So I'll be interested to see what you have to say related to the discussion board this week. So the last thing that I want to bring up is the discussion board. I reposted the grading criteria rubrics for the discussion board. We're now at the halfway point, so I won't be going back and grading anybody's, regrading anybody's discussion boards if you forget your references or your citations or you forget to do your peer responses. So please make sure that it's all submitted, your response by Thursday, your peer responses by Sunday, so that you do get your full points. The 2 questions for the discussion board this week is 1, now that we have completed reading the Leadership Challenge, let's share some of our own motivational leadership stories that we have experienced. This can be personal or professional in nature. Share your story and connect the leadership practices in your story with ideas expressed from your text readings. This discussion may help you to formulate your philosophy of leadership statement. So really think about it when you lend your response to the group. Also, you're going to post your group's choice for the article, movie review, and an APA formatted reference. Provide your group's rationale for choosing this article and movie. I'm looking forward to hearing from you this week, and contact me if you have any questions or concerns. I'm here for you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.